Welcome to Creating Abundance, sharing inspirational stories from experts around the world. Tap into your inner wisdom at alanacahoon.com.
I'd like to welcome Kim Browne, the Director of Engineering at L3 Harris. Um, she's a lovely person, a friend, a former client, and today, Kim, why don't you say hello and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hello, sure. So, as Alana said, I am an engineer. I've been a corporate employee for about 30 years now, and I'm also a mom. That's my favorite job. I am a wife and a daughter, and I have a lot of activities that I like to do that keep me quite busy and happy.
Fabulous. So, Kim, tell us how you manage to balance your work life and your family life.
Sure. So, balance is, well, just like it says, it's something that I'm practicing every day to try to, make sure that I'm giving enough of myself out to each thing that I want to, to do in my life. And in order to do that, I kind of reprioritize every day, reset myself. And one of those things I do to reset is meditation in the morning. So I start my day off that way. Just making sure that I'm grounded and I've got some really nice activities that I do. I take a look at my, schedule for the day. And a lot of times I have to remove things off of my schedule so that I can incorporate more things to give me that balance.
Interesting. So, when did you start your meditation practice?
Wow. Well, I've been doing this for a long time. I actually started when I was in college. It was called something a little different back then. It was called biofeedback. I was having a lot of anxiety working through, a pretty difficult program to become an engineer. And I went to the counseling office and they suggested I try something called biofeedback. It really is meditation, an early form of it, but I realized the benefits of it while I was in college. When before an exam would come while I was studying, I'd be able to use that to be able to focus in on studying. And then when the actual exam time came, it was a really great tool to do, just before the actual exam or to do while I was in the exam, just some of the simple breathing so that I was able to calm myself down, think clearly, and have the right amount of focus. And I absolutely saw an increase in my test scores going forward. So that was a huge benefit.
That is so good to know because I know how stressful college is and achieving any kind of degree, diploma, etc. So that's going to be really useful information for so many of our viewers today, period. So that was your meditation then, biofeedback. And today, what would you say is your practice?
Sure. So life is certainly a lot different now. Fast forward, I'm not going to tell you how many years, but it was quite a while ago, right? So the practice has definitely changed for me. It's become a stronger part of my life, especially over the last few years, where um, I think there's more to balance and a lot more, I will say, like crazy energy in the world. So to me, it's really important to start my day with different practices. But I've found that for me, um, listening to a guided meditation really gives me the best benefit. And I also find that I choose ones that are a little bit shorter in nature. And I, have tried different ones so that I can find out what works best for me. So I find that in the morning, I like to do one to start off with that's more of a simple, maybe a 10-minute meditation. And then I get my day started. And then there's another one that I really like, maybe an hour after I get up. I do a walking meditation. It's another one that's about 10 minutes. But I put in my headset or my headphones and I go outside if I, depending on the weather, but I usually go outside and I do a 10-minute walk to an actual guided meditation.
Those are wonderful ideas to help you bring balance throughout your day and to break up the day and give your mind some peace. And it's interesting. Here's a question for you. When you meditate during the day, as you just described, do you find that when you return to the office, you're more clear-headed?
Absolutely. It I will tell you that the bigger struggle I have is doing it during the day, but that is because I need it the most. So, that if it's during the day, like during the workday, a lot of times a moving meditation seems to work better. I almost feel that I need that movement to really break out of the pattern that I've had for the work time.
Right.
And then I'll return to a quieter, I'll say more of a quieter sitting still breathing meditation um, in the evening so that I'm able to wind down and transition from that work brain to the more relaxed home brain.
So what I'm hearing is that you have three meditations throughout your day. You wake up with a guided meditation. In the middle of the day, you'll do a movement meditation. And then at the end of the day, a quieter meditation where you're just maybe focusing on breathing. So, could you
Yes,
tell us a bit more about that morning meditation, what the focus might be?
sure, absolutely. The focus in the morning meditation is gratitude. Gratitude for waking up in the morning, gratitude for the day ahead, gratitude for my health, gratitude for the fact that, I'm going to be going to a job that may stress me out a little, but I'm grateful that I have that, just gratitude for everything that's wonderful in my life. So that's my focus first thing when I get up.
Excellent. So, morning gratitude, afternoon physical waking up, clearing the head, and evening winding down, calming down.
Yes.
That sounds like a lovely daily practice. And it also sounds like they don't necessarily have to be very long. I think I heard you say short, like a few minutes, 5, 10 minutes.
Yeah. So 10 to 20 minutes is the longest. And sometimes, if I can just to close my day up from work, right? Sometimes it's just a take a quick break of yeah, maybe it's just a minute of like the box breathing. And even that, if that's all I can get in that day, that certainly helps you just transition, your mind, your focus, and be able to go forward with a much better attitude, much better, clearer head. And it certainly makes me a better person for all those that are around me, that's for sure.
That introduces the next question was, how does it serve the people in your world?
Well, I can tell you, I have amped up the practice over the last few years. And the more that I do this, the better I feel connected to most of the most important people in my life. I definitely feel so much closer to my son. I feel like some of the meditations I do when I'm worried about him, I'll do a meditation with him in mind and I put my hand over my heart. And I just feel like there's so much positive energy that's going to him. I absolutely believe that he feels that and feels the calming, loving presence. Um, but it also just, the gratitude and all the other meditations just make me such a happier, calmer person. So I'm snapping less at people. I'm listening better, right? My head's not all clouded. I'm able to focus in on what they're saying. Um, I may be able to read their energy better, depending on what it is that they need. So if I'm approaching somebody and I've meditated and cleared my own head, you know, I'm approaching them in a different way. Um, I also think it helps me transition um to a healthier choices. Um, you know, I'm moving a little bit slower maybe and thinking through some of the things I'm doing. So I think it leads to me making healthier choices, which also affects the people in my life.
When you say healthier choices, could you give us a few examples of what those might be?
Sure. So, part of, um, I'll say a connection to my meditation practice, right? So, is taking yoga or doing yoga, I should say. And I've really been able to make the time for yoga. So, when I do that, um, I know how important that is. And that makes me such a much more focused person. You know, I get the exercise in. Um, and when you start with one little thing, I think one little healthy thing, one little healthy choice, it just makes you that much more excited to take that next healthy step. So, cleaner eating, making sure I get the movement in. I shared with you that I do that other meditation, that's a walking meditation. Um, you know, because it's so relaxing, um, I will go out in all kinds of weather because I know how much better I feel afterwards. So even if it's raining or freezing cold, I know that it's so good for me. Um, and then just the words that the meditation is saying to me just really help clear my mind. And a lot of times, even if it is cold or rainy, the meditation is really distracting me from that. So it just kind of keeps me going.
Thank you for that. Uh, as you've transitioned through your career path, did you find meditation supported that growth and movement through the transitions? And if so, how?
Absolutely. Definitely meditation has helped me be a better speaker, better presenter. And I do a lot of mentoring now. As my career is growing, I mentor a lot of other folks, and it's allowed me to become a better listener. And I think that's really important. Better listener is good in all ways, right? Um, but it definitely has helped me in my career. It also, when you're in a profession and you have customers, right? It's really important to listen to them. So when your head's clearer and you have better focus, you can really listen to your customers and understand what they need. So all that said, it's absolutely um, really been magical for my career and helping it and improving it.
That's wonderful
I
to
think I'll just add to, I think some of those things that I just told you, were results. The ultimate result is it gives me more confidence.
excellent. Confidence is so important for all of us. Do you have any advice for people in a similar profession as yours who are considering meditation?
Well, absolutely. I think it's life changing. I think it's extremely important. But I would say to start small, in short bursts of it. I know that there's some misconceptions where meditation is something where you sit and, have to be quiet for a half an hour, 40 minutes. I don't think that, when you're already have a busy lifestyle, trying to fit something in that maybe lengthy makes you even more stressed. Um, and I think it evolves over time. So, I know a lot of times people are saying they can't clear their mind, right? I completely understand that. That's why I've tried different types of meditations so that I can pick and choose the ones that work best for me. Um, I have a lot of guided meditations that I use and I switch them up all the time. I do have some that are my favorites, right? Um, so, and they've evolved. Sometimes I go back to some of the older ones. Sometimes I need something that's a little more, something that maybe connects me to other people or just shifts my energy quickly. So finding ones that you really like, trying new ones is really important, but you know, implement it into your life, you will absolutely see huge change. And, there's times when even when I'm traveling, right, I'm like, gosh, I don't think I have time for this. But then last week I was traveling and I got up every morning 10 minutes earlier and just played my meditations to get me started instead of jumping right out of bed. And it just really made a huge difference to get my day started. Then coming back to the hotel after, 12 hours of being, out in the world, just taking that time to just take the deep breaths and be thankful for my day. So implementing the gratitude again at the end of the day too, right? And just you know, holding my hand on my heart and just quieting my mind, I slept great. so so give it a try. All different times of the day too. Sometimes people have better times that work for them.
Thank you, Kim. That's so good to hear, and it helps you to sleep better too. We all need that.
Yes, and there I sleep really good. I don't know what I can attribute that to, right? I don't really have trouble sleeping. Um, but there are times when you wake up in the middle of the night, and I have some sleep meditations, right? Gosh, I don't even know. They're probably like a 7 minute. And the times that I had a little bit of challenge going back to sleep, those things worked amazing. So, I have those in my back pocket too. It's like a toolbox, right? Of all different kind of meditations. So
Yeah, sure. Well, thank you very much. Really appreciate having you here today. And I've appreciated all of the tips that you shared that, meditation is really for anyone, anywhere, anytime. That means during the day, in the morning, at night, whether at a hotel, in your own home, in your bed, at the office. And it just serves you to um, clear your head, wake up your body, help you go to sleep, all kinds of things. So thank you very much, and look forward to continuing on the path and seeing your growth along the journey. Thanks for sharing your knowledge and wealth with everyone, Kim.
thank you, Alana.
Thank you for listening to Creating Abundance. Be sure to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next podcast and get your free ebook at alanacahoon.com/ebook.